Okay, this is not a drama video. This is a video based upon a particular comment that was a reply to one particular comment that I left upon an atheist video that was actually speaking out against the arguments of another particular prominent atheist here on YouTube. The comment says, "You're the twat that thinks that you can use God to heal the mentally ill and depressed people, and say you can do so better than trained professionals in modern medicine. I don't like you one little bit, stay away from me." That's an opinion. But let's have a look at the opinion. Let's break it down a little, shall we? Okay? It starts with, "You're the twat that thinks you can use God to heal the mentally ill and depressed people." I don't think I've ever said that. At all. Ever. Under any circumstances. What I have alluded to is that with advances in science, it may be demonstrated that one could use aspects of religiosity for the purposes of increasing the likelihood that the person is going to get better from something. That is what I was alluding to. And that would actually be quite correct, because things which are religious or spiritual have many different dimensions, including positive affirmations, meditation, contemplation, visualization, and lots of other things which are actually already being used to a certain degree in schools of thought such as hypnotherapy, counseling, and all the rest of that. So essentially, I'm not really disagreeing with science, and nor am I disagreeing with trained practitioners. The second part here says that you say that you can do so better than trained professionals in modern medicine. I'm not saying that at all, and I've never said that under any circumstances. I would say that the trained professionals and modern medical practitioners could possibly incorporate some ideas from positive affirmation, meditation, contemplation, visualization, and all the rest of that into their practices to create a much more all-embracing treatment for people. This is what I've been, driving at and alluding to. I'm not really in conflict with anything which is scientific. And scientists, if they're truly honest, would have to say that we, as of yet, don't know everything. And there's more ideas which should be incorporated into science, and the science itself should actually get bigger, better, and stronger. And hopefully it will with time. But not with this singular, robust, anti-theistic attitude which is being portrayed by some people. It's quite an uncomfortable attitude. It's one could even suggest it's a slightly unwell attitude. It's full of paranoia, it's full of aggression, resentfulness, and out-and-out lies against a school of thought which someone finds difficult. And it's, what I talk about is a school of thought and the generation of some strange experiences, as I call them. And I try and explain to the best of my limited ability how I seemed to be able to generate them. And I provided other things, like there's a binaural recording on my channel as well, which people can use to see if they can use that to train their minds to enter into meditation and do other things associated with it, and so on and so forth. I'm trying to show that some strange experiences can happen. I'm trying to show people the method that I feel that these things can occur, but the extrapolations after that is something that I can only call an extrapolation. It's only hypothetical at best. And yes, there's lots of unfalsifiable claims which I personally would rather not make, because I don't want to mislead people or drive people astray or drive people mentally ill. I want people to think in a manner which is scientific, rather than to assume that unfalsifiable claims by their very nature are scientific. So this, this assumption that all spiritual people are mentally ill is a lie. We're just humans approaching the world from a different point of view to try and find out more about how the whole thing could work. and we have certain experiences which would corroborate to a certain degree some aspects of spiritual thought. But what they mean in practice, we still don't know and can't know. If I was to have an astral projection experience, all I could say is that this is a strange experience. I would not be able to extrapolate to the point whereby I could say that there is life after death, or that the soul is immortal. All I can say is this is a strange experience. But because that strange experience can happen, it's worthwhile exploring it because it's something which occurs within the natural world. And if there's all of these God knows how many experiences which are out there, which happen in the natural world, because if it happens in nature, it is natural, then the scientists need to start paying attention to these things and seeing which ones are best to be able to use and to incorporate into something which could actually do people some good. You know, it really does boggle my mind that these hard atheists, these scientism orientated atheists can't see that, and they're being just as narrow-minded as the fundamentalists of any religion. I mean, the extremist, far-right, excessively conservative, dogmatic, literalist fundamentalists of any religion. I mean, if these people, if these hard atheists were to get rid of religion and they were to replace it with their scientism, then the world would be just as messed up, and if not more messed up, than it is already. There's no solution to society's problems or individuals' problems from scientism. It's not good. And because it's just so obsessive, could you possibly even say that there's some kind of monomania, as people used to call it a few centuries ago, associated with this particular attitude? I think that we could say that there possibly is. I mean, hypothetically, of course, I'm not a medical practitioner. I don't want to go around diagnosing people. But there's something wrong with that attitude which really doesn't help people.